Hello, I'm Marc Robinson. I'm a professor at St. Olaf College in Minnesota, and I am currently in Moscow as part of my sabbatical, researching contemporary film and especially theater. And so I'd like to talk a little bit about some of the shows I've seen this time. One of my acquaintances here is Ivan Vidorpayev, and we had an early conversation about the first week or two while I was here, and we were discussing whether kind of the state of Russian theater right now. And at that point, the shows I had seen were okay, but had not really impressed me that much. And so we talked about whether the state of Russian theater was kind of pulling back from where it had been the past few years, or whether it was actually growing and becoming more interesting. I took the position that I was finding it a little less interesting than I had in previous years, and he thought, on the other hand, that it was growing and really changing in interesting ways. Over my 2 months here so far, I think I have to reevaluate my position and agree with Ivan that the variety of shows that I've been able to see here have been extremely interesting. Some of the ones from previous trips, such as Butusov's Chaika, the Seagull at the Satiric One, continue to be major favorites of mine while here, but I've been able to catch a lot of other new shows that have really explored new territory. One of those was a show called I Am the Machine Gunner, or Я Пулеметчик, at which has been in various places, but now it's being performed at the new Gogol-Center. And the Gogol-Center is an incredible new arts space that includes a variety of very adaptable stages, as well as a bookstore, restaurant, and just good space that's very inviting and very hip, very edgy. And this show was put on there by SounDrama. It's been performed in other areas. It was a fantastic experience. I knew the show before. It's written as a one-man show, and so it was very exciting to go and see it performed by 9 different people. And as I've told others, where else can you go see a one-man show performed by 9 people and see Hillary and Obama and Putin and Sarkozy all playing balalaikas and singing Hotel California. The acting was phenomenal. The staging was also just incredible, and it really expanded. The show itself was a very, very interesting, intense piece, but seeing it performed in this way really broadened the message to include global violence on a governmental level, which is beyond the scope of the text, but implied perhaps in the text, but definitely brought out in the staging. Another show that I saw was by one of my favorite directors, Dmitry Krymov, which is Torgi. It has been on for a while. I think it's 6 years or something, but I finally just got around to seeing it. And it's part of the School for Dramatic Arts on their second stage. And it's a mix-up of all of Chekhov's plays, utilizing the set motifs throughout all of his plays, such as the mature actress, the young couples in love, the kind of jokers, the estate for sale, all the typical things that run through many of his plays. And yet it's performed with such a sense of play, and yet it's also very unified. And it was just an incredible experience to watch that. Another favorite of mine, I mentioned already, Butusov's Chaika at Satyricon. I got to see his new production of Good Woman of Setzuan at the Pushkin Theater, which I think is also an incredible piece of theater. I have, let's say, an appreciation for Brecht, but I don't truly love him, although I do like Three Penny Opera and a few of the other pieces. This production really brought home to me how really exciting a good production of Brecht can be. The young actors at the Pushkin Theater, which has always been kind of theater rather like its position. It's off the main drag, just slightly, and they have some in their plays in their repertoire which are really geared for kind of just drawing in crowds and light, easy comedy. And I really, from their previous director, Roman Kazak, who was a fine actor and fine director, to their new director, I see a movement to try to bring into the mix some edgier, more interesting works in their filial, and so I really applaud them. Every show I've seen there has been really, really well done, and I'm very impressed with the theater and where they're heading. It's very hard at times when you lose a beloved artistic director to maintain momentum, and I think they're really doing an excellent job. Again, Good Woman of Setzuan was terrific. Another show that I saw there that I also really, really loved, that is much different than anything else I've seen around, is Matrinskaya Polya, which is at their filial. And it's a play without any words, using mostly gesture and dance to tell a povest or short story novella by Chinghiz Aitmatov about a family going through the war. And the play was incredibly moving. The staging was inventive, intimate in their filial space, and just brought out all the wonderful possibilities, especially seeing these young actors from the Pushkin and how skilled they are, both, and at times seeing them perform in both Good Woman of Setzuan and in the Matrinskaya Polya was amazing, especially since I went with a relative to see a children's show there the day after Good Woman of Setzuan, which was of course a 3.5, 4-hour show. So it got over at 11 or 11:30, and then at 12 o'clock the next day I saw half of the cast from Brecht performing in a child's show of Treasure Island, and seeing the ability of these young actors to do both. It's something that has constantly, from the very beginning of my study of Russian theater, amazed me, is the skill of actors here, and I find that continuing, and it's great to see that a young batch of actors in all of these shows, in the Mother's Field, in The Good Woman of Setzuan, in Torgi and Krymov's works, and in Yapulimyoshik, all utilizing really young actors that are exceptionally skilled and just a pleasure to watch, and that's matched by the direction that's being given to them. So I highly recommend Russian theater right now. It's a real treat.